Hi fellow bombers, I'm Brian from Atomic-Moto and I'm here to give you a mission briefing on protection specifically as it applies to adventure touring boots. Now that word protection is thrown around quite a bit when we're talking about our gear. However, I want to put it in some additional more specific context for you. I'm going to start with this GAERNE G all-terrain. Now when I'm talking about protection in the context of this boot, it is mostly impact. This has key protection in impact zones. It's got a nice hard shin plate. It has a nice visible plastic heel counter, has a little bit of extra padding back here in the rear of the calf area. It does have a hard insert. You can't see it, but is there in the toe underneath the leather. And so if something falls on your toe, there is a little bit of protection there. Moving on to this FORMA Adventure, this has a few extra zones of protection that are key, that are critical. First of all, it has a shifter pad, not so much protection, but it is important for making it just a little less pressure when you're shifting. But what this has over the G all-terrain is it has two hard cup-shaped inserts in the ankle area. And that is very important because it stiffens up the shaft of the boot laterally from side to side. So it is a little bit less likely to roll your ankle, and also a little bit more force is transferred through the boot. Stepping up to the next model, this is the FORMA TERRA. Now this has a lot more impact protection than the GAERNE, but it has one key thing that the others, these two do not have. It has a very rigid sole. If you try to bend the sole of this boot, you basically cannot. And that is good for protection in the case of a frontal strike. If you catch something with the front of your boot, the sole will not bend up. So this is a step up in protection over those. And then I move on to the ALPINESTAR's TOUCAN, which is currently the most protective boot in the adventure touring category. The TOUCAN has an extensive network or exoskeleton of plastic all around it. So it has impact protection, it has ankle support, it has good rigidity in the midsole, and the overall structure of the boot is much, much more rigid. When you are looking at a boot and you're evaluating the protection, I want you to think of it in this way. I want you to think of the impact zones. How many impact zones does it have? I want you to think of the nature of the ankle support. This is perhaps the most important characteristic of all the protective characteristics of a boot. How much ankle support does it have? Then the sole rigidity, that's the last thing. That's our mission briefing on protection of adventure touring boots. Hope it's been helpful. Hope to see you out on the bike.